And welcome back to the Engler Journey podcast. I am your host, Olivia Vanderford, and today I have the pleasure of being with an Engler member who's going to tell us about the shrimp business, Nolan Wellensiek, and it's so nice to have you here today.
Yeah, it's great to be on. Glad to be here.
I love shrimp, and I know your dad said he makes a great shrimp kebab, right? So how did you get involved in the shrimp industry?
Yeah, it was all through FFA. Had a great ag advisor in high school, Christy Hodges. She kind of geared me toward a lot of the competitions that fit my skill set, and one of those competitions was the Agri-Science Fair project. My sophomore year, I made it out to Indianapolis to the National Agri-Science Fair, and I presented a project, did decently well out there, and wanted to go back. Met some great people, some great singing out there as well. So wanted to go back, was sitting down with my dad brainstorming some things that I could take back to the Agri-Science Fair out there. And we had cattle at the time, talking about goats, sheep, hogs. I mean, anything that I could take back. He's like, well, you could grow shrimp. And it's like, we're not growing shrimp. Yeah. That is a horrible idea. And I told him that, and was bored the next day in school. This was back my junior year of high school. I started doing some Google searching, and come to find out there are some guys that grow shrimp, and they grow them in these tanks. And so after doing some more thinking, it's like, we could do this. It'd be a lot of work, but we could definitely do it. And so one thing led to another, and here we are. So
yeah, that's amazing. And I want to know, what's the process of growing shrimp? Like, what does it look like for people that don't know?
Yeah. So I work with a hatchery down by Fort Myers, Florida, off of Pine. It's called Pine Island is where the hatchery is. So I will get 15,000 baby shrimp shipped up about May 1. When they come in, they're about the size of the white on your pinky fingernail, or about the length of your eyelash, if that. So they come in a bag. It's about this big, a clear bag. They will pump that bag full of oxygen along with the baby shrimp. They'll overnight ship them up here to Omaha. I'll go pick them up, and then I'll get them acclimated to our water here in Nebraska in a nursery tank. So.
Oh, okay. So then, what does the process look like for growing the shrimp? Like, when do you harvest the shrimp? What's that look like?
Yeah, so it's about 120 days from start to finish when I get them in to when I get them out. So if I get them in May 1, they'll spend the first 30 days in a grow out tank. They'll grow from the size of the white on your pinky fingernail to about a gram and a half, and about an inch and a half long. And then the next 90 days they'll spend in the grow out tank. And so they'll go from that inch and a half long to about the length of my hand. So they're about a 20 count or larger shrimp is what I market. Yeah.
Oh, cool. And how can people get your shrimp?
Yeah, so I market direct to consumers. So a lot of phone calls. My phone number's pretty available on a lot of places. I assume we could put it in the description. And then I have Instagram and Facebook, not too active on there. So most of the ordering is done actually through me by phone call. So
okay, yeah. And what makes your shrimp unique? Like, what do you think's the best thing about your shrimp?
Yeah. So obviously, one of the main things, it's grown here in Nebraska. I know of one shrimp farm in Nebraska right now, and he's 8 miles from the Colorado border. I'm kind of the only one in the state doing it right now. I know there are a couple others in the Midwest. There's a guy out in Montana, a guy in Minnesota, and there's some in Missouri. But as far as that goes, I'm able to get a fresh product to the consumer, which is very hard to do when you ship a shrimp from the Gulf to here, and it's very expensive as well. So that's kind of one of the things that makes it really unique.
Yeah, and why would you encourage other people to get involved in growing shrimp?
Yeah, definitely. It's difficult for sure. Yeah. I would say if you are interested in doing it, find a mentor, find somebody who you can rely on. It took me a long time to kind of figure it out, and that first year was tough. I had an airline, so the tanks they're 30 feet long by 15 wide. They hold about 15,000 gallons of water, and so you have to supply artificial oxygen to the tank. So use of like aeration systems. So that first year I had a aeration line, the plastic PVC blew apart in the middle of the night, and that killed 15,000 shrimp.
Yeah.
So definitely, if I was gonna if somebody was going to start, definitely start small. I mean, and that's where I was told to do. There were some guys that I talked to that they tried it and they were much larger than I was. And I thought I was starting small. So I would definitely start as small as you can and then build from there. So.
Yeah, it's a really unique business, and I think it's so cool that we have Nebraska raised shrimp here that we can have, and you can have for your favorite dish of shrimp. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so talking about the Engler program now, how did you get involved in Engler, and what have been some of your favorite experiences?
Yeah, definitely. Some of my favorite experiences have probably been fireside. I mean, talking to some of the industry professionals, if you will, kind of explaining what I'm doing in my business world, and then having them bounce ideas off of that. I really enjoy that about Engler. Everybody has something going on that they're working on, and everybody likes to hear what other people are working on. And being able to bounce ideas off each other and explain what you're doing and see what they think you could be doing better that's kind of one thing I really like. So
definitely. And what was one of your favorite memories from Fireside? Like you said, did you have a favorite mentor that you talked to?
Yeah. I talked to a couple guys. He worked for Big Iron. I forget the guy's name, but yeah, that was a very interesting talk of some of the things that he had worked on in the ag world that have his company was actually sold to Big Iron, and now he works for them. And kind of some of the things he works on in the ag world, that was definitely an interesting conversation.
Yeah, very cool. I've heard only but great things about the Fireside event.
Show up if you're listening.
Definitely come. But now, what was one of your favorite classes you've taken? I know you said 388 was one of your favorites and 101. What was some of your favorite memories or best advice from those?
Yeah, definitely 388 has probably definitely been my favorite so far. I mean, Dave, bringing in some industry professionals, and we listen to them here. Actually, we have class on Wednesday. I'm currently in 388 right now, and I'm in Enterprise Studio right now. But yeah, with that, bringing in industry professionals and listening to him, we actually had a CPA come in here last Wednesday and talk about taxes and ask some tax questions. I mean, the things that he does for us to kind of prepare us to run a business. I mean, we are running them right now, but to go full time at them, it's definitely amazing.
Yeah, and like you said, bringing in these industry professionals, what do you think makes Engler so unique in comparison to other programs on campus?
Yeah, definitely. I would say it's the connections. I mean, you talk to Tom for 5 minutes and you can tell that he's a very connected person, and the people that him and not just Tom, Dave as well, that they bring in to connect with us young people and to hear some of the things that they've done where they screwed up, what they did because of that and what they did to make it better. I think that's really amazing.
Yeah, and why do you think having an agricultural background helps you as an entrepreneur?
Yeah, I would definitely say with the shrimp, especially growing, it's very similar to ordering seed. Is just like ordering shrimp food. So I would say some of those maybe business like connections that you would have, that's very similar to what we did growing up. I grew up on a decent sized row crop production operation. My dad, grandpa, 2 uncles and great uncle, and just growing up, seeing what they did has translated very well to what I'm doing right now, doing a lot of the same things, getting permits filed. I mean, even though we are a triply landlocked state, I had to file an aquaculture permit. State of Nebraska got $78 richer, so they're decently cheap. I thought it would be more every time I do it, but so kind of those connections that I've seen growing up has definitely benefited me with what I'm doing now.
Yeah. So you were talking about your family. Is there anyone that you look up to in your family or a mentor that has helped you along the way?
Yeah. My dad has been a huge help. They loaned me the money to start start the whole thing.
Yeah.
And not a whole lot of people can say that their parents were able to essentially write them a blank check for whatever you need. We will help you get it done. And I'm forever grateful for them to be able to do that. And not just the money, that's one aspect of it, but the time that my dad, my mom have taken to help build the facility. I mean, there was one summer there, the summer actually before I started, we spent a ton of time getting stuff ready for that first go around. And then besides my dad, my mom, my two sisters, my grandma, when we're harvesting, it is all hands on deck. 15,000 shrimp are quite a few shrimp if you're trying to get them sold and marketed. So that turns out to be quite a bit of work. So you need quite a few hands, and to rely on them for them to be able to help me has been amazing.
Yeah. And where do you see your business in the future? What do you plan to do with the shrimp? Do you plan to continue growing it? So like we talked about a little bit earlier with the FFA project, that's what it started out as. So I actually never took it to competition. I kind of kicked myself that I didn't. But so the size of that pool is specifically sized to be able to fit 8 more of them in a hog facility that we own that is no longer used. So the project was, is it more profitable to raise shrimp than hogs? From where I grew up, there's quite a few hog buildings that sit unused. I mean, since the 80s, hogs were worth quite a bit, just like cattle are right now. I mean, everybody got into it, and now everybody's out of it because there's not a whole lot of money in it, and there's a lot of work. So, that's what the project was to take these pools, put them in hog facilities, and grow shrimp out of them. So that's kind of an end goal right now. I'm still in school right now, so I only run over the summer, so it takes 120 days. So I get them in during finals week is when I'm going to get them in, and I will get them out right before school starts. So the time slot works really well. But going out of school, definitely run year round in a hog facilities where I'd like to end up. And like I'm growing 15,000 out in a third of a year right now in one pool. So that's very scalable to run 8 pools year round. So, No, that's very cool and a unique way to be using those buildings. And have shrimp generally been profitable over the years that you've been doing it?
Yeah, they're for the space I use, they're extremely profitable.
Great.
I run a density of about 250 per cubic meter. So if you think of a cubic meter of water, that's about how many shrimp I can grow in a cubic meter. So then you can times that by the area you want to grow them in. And so per square foot, they're one of the most profitable things you can do. If you were able to take a quarter section of ground and grow shrimp on it, you'd be making a lot of money.
Wow, that is really interesting. And I know Paul Engler, he's one that really, just took it. He just went for it, and he bought his first head of cattle, kind of like what you're doing, just went for it at a young age. And he made this building for all of us to be able to have these businesses. So what are you most proud of your experience here in the Engler program?
I would say going off of what Paul, kind of one of the pillars, grit. Going back to that first year I failed, we were about 2 weeks away from harvest, had sunk about 5 figures into the whole facility, and I wasn't going to see a return right there. So it took a lot to not hang it up then. I mean, I could have written a check to my parents for what they spent and just been done with it. But my dad really talking me out of doing that. We farm, and he told me about a story, and I knew of the story, just kind of forgot about it. He bought a farm. He'd been about 7-8 years ago now, and he drilled a hole for a well. And as you no, I mean, those irrigation wells can be extremely expensive. That hole turned out to not produce anything, so he had sunk a very large sum of money, but you don't quit. So now we irrigate that farm, and that was kind of a roundabout story, but him just talking about that, like, I did the same thing you did. I sunk a ton of money into something. It didn't work. Well, you got to pick yourself up and take another hack at it. So
yeah, no, that's really cool. And grit, I mean, is something that we should all have when you're going to be trying to be an entrepreneur. And what's some of the best advice you could give to a young member that's considering being a part of the Engler program? Yeah,
definitely. Going back to, I kind of think of that question. There's a couple kids from my hometown that are thinking about coming here to UNL, and they're weighing some other options. And I definitely think they should come to the Engler program. Whatever your major is, you would be able to find something that you could excel at here. And I think that is very important, not only for just the business aspect and learning those things, but connecting with the people here. I mean, these connections that you're building here will be lifelong connections. You're going to be able to see that person in Sam's Club someday and say, hey, how are you? I haven't seen you in a while. And that's worth something. So
yeah, definitely. And so 20 years from now, like you were saying, waving to people at Sam's Club, what are you going to be most grateful for being in the Engler program?
Yeah, definitely the people. Just building those connections. I love talking to people. And I think that's one way that I'm able to be successful in my business is my ability to talk to people. I think that's opened a couple doors for me in the Engler program here in my business, and I think that ability will be able to help me open doors throughout my life. So I think just talking to people, being able to have those connections in 20 years. So
yeah, of course. And one more fun question: what is your favorite shrimp dish if you had to pick?
I would say my dad makes a really good scampi. There's a couple other pasta dishes that my mom makes, and they're pretty good. So I would have to say one of those pasta dishes. But
yes, I love that. I love shrimp scampi too. Yeah. The best.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, thank you so much for being here today, Nolan. I loved hearing more about your story. And if anybody needs shrimp or some shrimp scampi, just talk to Nolan.
Yeah, down in the description, right? Or it could be like up here on YouTube. You can put the link, right?
Yes, yep, on the YouTube. Yep. Well, thanks for being here today.
Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate it.